If you want to know the things that I learned in 2023, and this is the advice that I would give my daughters, keep watching. Welcome to the podcast, guys. We're going to get straight into it. If you see the title, I'm really excited about this episode because I'm going to share with you the things that I learned in 2023. This is the advice that I would give my daughters. Every year, I think about what I want to represent as a woman, what I want to model for my children, the actions and behaviors that I want them to see me do, the practices and skills and habits, the mindset, the emotions that I practice, or just the relationships that I have, the job that I have, the career that I have, and then the tangible things that they see as a result of it, so that I can help my daughters become the best, healthiest, God-fearing, God-loving, God-honoring women. And every year I think of like, what would I tell myself? What did I learn? And then how can I pass that on to my children? So you guys are like my daughters. And so I want to share these things with you because I think they were really, really helpful. Some of them are really hard lessons to learn, and I teach these to my clients. So they're all things that I integrated into my new coaching program, Feminine Freedom. But anyway, all right, so let's get into it. So the first thing that I got really clear on, or that I realized and learned, was that you can attract a lot of different things, but the things that you have in your life are the things that you choose. Meaning so many things will come to you, opportunities, people, clients, men, friends. Just there's a lot of things that will come your way, but what you actually experience is what you choose. And a lot of us aren't choosing consciously. We're not proactively consciously choosing, meaning making the decision like, I want this in my life. We just like let it by default, just let it stay there, and proactive measure to say, I decided this and I really want it. We just like allow it to be there because somebody else decided it for us, right? So I noticed that specifically though, when I think of like men that I dated, or business opportunities, coaching programs, the money that I earned, the clients that I had a lot of clients reach out to me this year. But I was really conscious about who specifically I wanted to work with. And I believe that who's around you is who you choose. You can attract a lot of different things, but what you get is what you choose. And what you choose is really defined by what you want in your life and what you believe that you deserve. So if I believe that I deserve, a lot of money and high income, I'm not going to take a client that wants to pay me like $5 an hour, right? If I deem myself a really valuable coach that offers big transformation, if I offer really big transformation and I solve big problems, then I'm going to be valuing my coaching as very high value, and my price point's probably going to be very high too, right? So because I believe that my coaching is very valuable and it offers big transformation, my program is valued as such, right? If because I believe that I'm the daughter of a king and I have high worth, then I'm not going to allow myself to choose somebody that does drugs or is an atheist, doesn't follow God, somebody that doesn't read the Bible, somebody that doesn't go to church, somebody that isn't driven and has a lot of self-control and peace. I'm gonna be very choosy about it, right? Because I get to decide who I allow in my life. So people tell me, well, you can't really control who you attract, but you can control who you choose to have in your life, right? But I do think that to a certain extent, you will attract certain things based on who you are. I think based on how I speak, where I go, the places that I frequent, I'm gonna surround myself with certain types of people that are there because they have maybe the same mindset or the same values that I have, right? If I go to tennis matches and golf courses, I'm going to attract people that like those kinds of games or sports. If I go to networking events for my business, for self-employed entrepreneurs, I'm probably not going to meet somebody with a 9-to-5 job, right? So it's really about who you are. Is based on who you are, you're going to be doing certain things. And based on where the places that you go to do these things, you're going to meet certain types of people. So you will attract a certain kind of person based on where you decide to go. For example, I don't go and eat at like fast food every day. So if I go to eat, I'm gonna pick like a better quality place. Probably gonna meet maybe a little higher quality people, because it's not as cheap a place, right? It's more expensive, and so not everybody can afford it, and only certain kind of people can afford it. So I really do believe that what you attract is based on what you choose. And because I deem myself a certain type of woman, I'm choosing certain places, certain people, certain price points, certain relationships, and based on that, I'm attracting and keeping a lot of great people. So you got to be really conscious of what you're choosing. What are you attracting, right? What are you allowing to stay, right? The next lesson that I learned was commitment brings clarity. So I'm going to say that again. Commitment brings clarity. So when you commit to something, it really weeds out options. So if I'm committed to a marriage and I'm married to one person, I'm very clear on who I'm going to be with for the rest of my life, right? I'm clear that I'm in a relationship, that I'm married, that there's no one else for me. So I'm clear on who I can or cannot be around, right? It brings a lot of clarity about what I need to do. So if I'm married and I have children and I'm a wife now, and there's things that I do now as a wife because I'm committed to this person and we live together, the things that I do it's very clear to me because I'm committed to this thing. One of the things that I got really clear on and committed to was my business. I took a lot of the year to undo a lot of my masculine habits that I had, were like things like control, being over controlling, being hyper independent, doing everything myself, believing that I was the one that was was smarter and knew better, and that I didn't need any help from people. I thought I was really open, and I learned that in a lot of areas of my life I wasn't. I thought I was really flexible and let people in, but there was a lot of places in my life that I realized I wasn't. So I had to get really honest with myself and say, I need to undo a lot of these habits because I'm staying by myself and I'm keeping things to myself. I believe that masculine energy in a woman is very much like codependence or hyperindependence, and it revolves a lot around personal property. Like, this is mine, and she doesn't want to share, and if she shares, it's very transactional. It's like, because I'm going to share because I'm going to get a certain thing. And I'm now seeing that because I undid a lot of these habits, let's say just that, like the codependence and hyper independence. Now I feel more independent, and I don't believe things are mine, and I can't share them because I believe that anything that I have is from God. That opens me up to share it because it's not mine anyway. And I can share things. It's not that like I wouldn't share something that's mine, but like God says, hey, it's not yours anyway. Like, I gave it to you so you can give it to people. And before, even especially in my business, I wanted to gatekeep a lot of things. I didn't want to share a lot. I thought if I share it, people aren't going to need me after that. Like, if I give them things, they're going to take it and then they're not going to deem me as valuable. They're not going to say, like, they're not going to need me anymore, especially as a coach. I didn't want to share all the information I had. And instead, what I realized was, if I give it all away and people get a lot of value from it, or they use it and they see that the tools work, people will say, okay, well, then that actually proves that I do know what I'm talking about. I do know how to coach. And it actually makes me more be deemed as a thought leader and someone that understands what she's doing. And she has frameworks and concepts that actually work, right? So I gave things away. Like, I had a mini course that I never did before. I did more freebies. I'm going to do a lot more this year. And because I knew what I was committed to, which was sharing and not believing that things are mine, I gave more, I served more, because I got really clear on that. And I was committed to being the coach and the woman that really portrayed traits of Jesus Christ. And so that made me serve. And I was like, how do I serve? How can I give more? But in a very, not like needy, I need to give in order to get something back. It was just like, how can I be of service? And the way that I'm of service is really by sharing concepts. And so I got really clear on being committed to that. And I asked myself, who am I being known as? Like, what kind of reputation am I having? One of the other things that I learned and decided was, what do I want to be known for? What is my brand as Anabell? Just a woman, not business, just as me, right? And I want to be known first and foremost as a Christian, as a believer, as a daughter of a king, as somebody who follows and honors, loves, and is like Jesus Christ as much as possible. And so because of that, Jesus is the ultimate server, right? He was like service minded, servant leader, and he gave, and he never expected anything in return. He knew that he was working towards God's will for his life. I know my will. I know God's will for my life, and because of that, service is part of it, right? It's about giving all the knowledge that God gave me. And so I thought, what do I want to be known as that? Then I need to portray that. I need to be that if that's what I want to be known as. So because I'm committed to that, my behaviors, again, the clarity about that was so easy. It's like if I'm like Jesus, I got to serve, I got to give. And so it made me see that I'm not protective and scared to give. I didn't realize that I was like that. I didn't realize I had so much resistance towards giving my information. I thought I gave a lot. I didn't. How did I learn that lesson? Because once I started to get really clear on who do I want to be known for, if people are going to know that about me, they need to learn that about me, and they need to be subjected to me. They need to have access to me. So the way that I did that was by showing up on social media and being brave and courageous and sharing all of my ideas. But trust me, it wasn't easy. It was so challenging. It felt really, really difficult. It felt scary because as easy as it is to just show up and share a video and share an idea, it was ideas that I had constructed or came up with, these like concepts and frameworks and ideas of what a feminine woman and a masculine energy woman was. And so to put it out there, I was so terrified. Like I remember like literally crying the night before on the phone with my sister, on the phone with my friend. And I was like, I don't want to do it. I don't want to share. And they're like, how else are people going to know what your ideas are to see if they even want to work with you or not? Right. And so it's very easy to do, but it was very challenging. But I thought, I want to be known as somebody who follows God. I want to talk about my faith. I'm going to incorporate it in my business. I'm okay with that. So when I was committed to being that woman, the clarity about what I need to do was easy. But was it challenging? Yes, because I was worried about hurting people's feelings. I thought people would feel rejected. I thought people would get annoyed because I was talking about my faith. I thought that people would get mad because they were going to feel judged by me. I thought that I was going to lose a lot of followers and people weren't going to want to work with me because I was a Christian coach or a coach that was Christian. And if anything, what ended up happening was that video went viral and it has like over 1 million views, maybe, I don't even know, a lot of views. And then all the content that I've shared since then has been, I've attracted the people that are like me, right? Because I want to be known for this, and people who want to know someone like me follow me. So when you get committed to who you are, you actually attract people that are just like you, and then you get around like-minded people. And I believe that when you are seeing yourself as you have something valuable to share, you see yourself as a leader, and because you see yourself as a leader, people follow. But it's not this like self-righteous, like I'm a leader, come follow me. It was just like, I'm a thought leader. I have ideas that I think are going to help you, and I want to share them because they help me first. I've proven it with my clients first and with me, and let me share them with you because I think they might help you because it helped me understand myself better. And because I did that with courage, other people started following, right? But remember, we have to be courageous and lead first, and then we follow, and people follow. So being committed to being a woman that shares and is clear with people that I am a believer, that God and Jesus is like my number one foundation. It was so easy to make all my decisions in my business, in my programs, who I am as a mom, just everything. Everything is so clear now. So ask yourself, what do you want to be known for? Do you want to be known as somebody who creates love or creates stress around them? Do you want to be known as a giver or a taker? Do you want to be known as a leader or a follower, right? It's this really clear distinction a decision that you need to make. But when you are clear on what you want to be known for and you commit to it, all of the decisions that you make from there on, so easy. There's so much clarity on what you need to do because all my decisions go through that filter. I call it making vision-based decisions, vision-based actions, right? So when you know what you're committed to that thing in the future, it's very easy to make the decision. So that was super, super helpful. The other thing that I was willing to do this year was I was willing to be misunderstood. I was willing for people to unfollow me. I was willing to be really polarizing in my content that I share in my business. I was willing for people to be disappointed in me if I said no to them or said yes to them. I was willing for people to see that I'm different now and see that I'm on a different path, see that I've changed my coaching, see that I've changed as a woman, see that I don't do the same things that I did before. One of the things that I did in the summer of 2023 was I blocked and deleted all of my old guys that I used to like have on call, that like I would like contact when I was feeling down, and I'd see them and we'd hook up and things like that. That was not something that aligned again with the woman that I wanted to be known for and who I knew I was in my heart now. So I cut everybody off, and that was so difficult. Oh my gosh. I remember like being down that entire day. Like I was in bed. It was hard because these were people that I was used to, or specifically men that I was used to like always having in my corner, that I always went to when I needed to pick me up, when I needed some love, when I needed some attention. Really, it wasn't love. Let's just be honest. It was just like attention. But when I didn't have any, it felt like a really big loss. And I was okay with disappointing all of them. And what's interesting is I talked to two of them after, and they were both like, I'm glad you did that. Like that was really brave of you and good. Like that was a really great decision that you made. And nobody was upset. Because two of them I knew at church, and so I ran into them and talked to them. But it was really brave of me because I had to say no to the things that I don't want anymore in order to say yes to the things that I do want. So I'm willing to be misunderstood. I'm willing for people to unfollow me. Yesterday I posted a video on Instagram, and because of the way I said and took clips from this coaching session, so many people were writing so many crazy comments and like, you're wrong. And I'm like, it's okay. You guys didn't see the whole context of the coaching call. You guys didn't see the whole conversation. You guys don't even understand what I was talking to this woman about, like why I said what I said. I was okay with people writing nasty comments and saying whatever because of what I showed. I was like, okay, now I learned from it. I should edit it in a better way so that it's clear what I'm saying and what I'm showing is aligned with what I'm sharing in the captions, because it kind of looked like two different things. But either way, I was okay with it. But at first I got really scared. I turned off the comments. I didn't want anybody to write any more bad stuff because I was just getting them over and over and over. It hit like 25,000 views in like an hour. I was like, what? And I got really worried because I saw that people were getting offended and I was getting misunderstood. I was like, oh my God, they're not getting it. And I thought, we're okay with that. People are going to like me and some people are not going to like me. I'm not here. I'm not that I don't care that I'm not liked. It's sad, but I'm here for the people that need me and need my message and need what I'm known for and that need the woman that I am and that know my heart and know my intention. I'm okay with the unfollows. I'm okay with the rejection. I'm okay with no one working with me. I'm okay with someone just consuming my content, using it all for free and never paying me $1. Totally fine. That's what I'm here for, right? And so Jesus never got paid. He wasn't like, pay me, pay me, pay me. He was like, I'm just here to serve and tell you about the kingdom of God so you guys can come be a part of it. So the old me, because I've been bullied, because I've been rejected so much, because of abandonment and things like that, that used to drive me so crazy. It would feel like the world ended when I was misunderstood, when I thought that I wasn't getting my point across, or worse, that people got offended and hurt by what I said. I'm okay with that now because I do believe that the people that need my message hear it the right way and other people don't. Like the way Jesus was, he told a lot of Jesus taught in parabolic teaching. So he always told stories. He didn't clearly say a message directly. He always told a story, showed analogies and metaphors and things like that. And he used that so that whoever he was telling this message to, if it landed for them, it was because they got it. He wasn't like worried and sitting there trying to like convince and coerce people. He was just like, I'm going to put it out there and whoever's ready, it lands for them. And I'm okay with that too. People can listen to me for years and decide to work with me years later. It's okay, right? I'm okay with being misunderstood and unfollowed, judged, unliked, because I know who I am, and first and foremost, and other people can have their opinions about me. So that was really brave thing for me to do. It was really hard to put myself out there, but because I got really clear on who I wanted to be known for, what I wanted to be known for, what I was committed to, and what I was choosing, I'm okay with being misunderstood. I am the other thing that I learned was you have to be willing to say no to things so that you can make room to say yes for the things. So I kind of touched on this earlier, but I want you to think of the things that you say no to, you are by default saying yes to something else, right? So if you're saying yes to working 8 hours, you're saying no to resting for 8 hours, right? You're saying no to being with your kids for 8 hours. If you're saying no to peace and a relationship with Jesus and being a follower of Christ, you're going to be somebody in the world, and you're going to be of the society standards, which is all, very much of it, so much of it is ruled by Satan, and it's very demonic, and it's not healthy, and it would just lead you to sin, right? So would you rather be in righteousness on the narrow path with Jesus and say yes to him, or say yes to the world? And you have to be willing to choose, because what you say yes to is what you're saying no to. So again, like what I said earlier, when I said no to the guys, I was saying yes to the guys that I did want, the different types of guys. Were these guys familiar, comfortable, good looking, fun, attractive? We drink a lot and did dumb stuff. Yes, but I'm willing to sacrifice those things for the different kinds of guys that I want, right? So you have to be willing to say no to that. One of the things that I thought about was if especially with my work, because I'm putting together a new coaching program. Feminine Freedom is like almost done, right? And it's going to be released. But I want to work with coaches. Like my biggest goal has always been to be a coach that helps coaches put out their thought leadership out into the world and help people with their unique gifts and talents and skill set, so that they can help people solve certain problems and get them really big results and big life changes, right? Big transformation. And I really believe that I'm really skilled at that. But it took me 2 years of really like getting honest with myself and saying, yes, I'm going to do that. Because I was terrified. I thought that I maybe wasn't ready to do it. I've been a coach for 5 years, and I've made a lot of money doing this. I've worked with over 500 women now, and have offered them and gotten them big transformation. And for me to say that like I don't know how to teach that is like not true. What's even better now is that the coach and the woman that have become now is 2024. I have now learned to run a business in a way that is automated, where I do so much less work. I work about 15 hours a week. I have coaching programs that are all like digital assets that make me a lot of money while I'm sleeping. I make money every single day. I get new clients every single day, and I do it in the most feminine way, meaning I receive more and I do less. And you're doing it with your authentic, natural skills. That's what a feminine woman does, I believe, in her business. I'm not doing something that feels unnatural to me. I'm literally like, what am I great at? That's what I do for work. And it feels so easy. In my work, your work actually energizes you and makes you really fulfilled, versus drains you and makes you feel like nothing's working. And I know how to do that now. And if I would have launched my coaching business for coaches, or my coaching program for coaches a year ago, could I have changed it and then based on what I've learned now? Yeah. But it's like I see the perfection in God's journey, that I said no to it last year because a big part of me felt like I wasn't ready. I went through everything I went through this year, and now I've learned to do it in the most easy, skilled, controlled, in charge, but in a feminine way that I can make a lot more money. And it's been now the coaching program that coaches are going to get from me is going to be so much better. They're going to earn money every single day consistently with less effort and with their special natural talents. So I'm really excited about that. So I had to say no to it back then so I could do this now. But again, it's really about getting clear and honest with yourself and saying, I'm committed to this. I want it. It's not something that I need, because I already have a coaching program that I could do for the rest of my life, but it's something that I really, really want, because I know that I'm the kind of coach that's perfectly skilled to help coaches do this. I want to work with women. I want to work with women that are really dedicated to make big transformation into the world, that know that they have great hearts and they're there to work with the best people and earn a lot of money and doing it in a really easy way. So I'm excited about that. But I had to, again, you have to be committed to it, right? And then it's easy to decide that. So that was really a great thing for me to learn. The last thing is do what makes you happy. I've known that I wanted to be a coach that coaches coaches. I've known that I wanted to have a coaching program like that. But I was for 4.5 years, well now 2020, 21, 22, 23, 4 years. I've been doing like the deeper healing kind of stuff. And because of that, I've learned a lot, and I'm still going to have that coaching program. But because of that, it's really set me up to now teach other people how to do what I do. And it really makes me happy. I love talking about business. I love talking about marketing. I love talking about sales. I'm really good at it. And it really makes me happy to see other work with women that are leaders, that are confident, that know that they're valuable and that they have something to offer the world. That's who I want to work with forever. And it makes me really happy to be around those kinds of women. So it makes me happy. And if I'm doing it, it's going to make others happy, and it's going to really provide a lot of value. So you have to be honest about what you want, because a lot of times what you want and what makes you happy goes contrary to what you've been doing the past couple years, right? It's like, wow, you want to sell a product now, or you want to have a brick and mortar store. Like, oh my gosh, this is something very different. But you have to be willing to say, yeah, that's really what I want. Commit to it, choose it, say no to anything that isn't it, and then focus on that, right? So you have to get clear on what really makes you happy. Deciding and getting data. You have to decide so that you can get information, right? I won't know how great I am at being a coach that coaches other coaches this year until I decide that, and I make the program and put it out there. But you have to decide. So I think deciding is a place of, we can stay in indecision for a really long time. It's not helpful. We claim it, and sometimes we're just scared to do it, right? But like deciding, what's great about it is that you get data, you get information after. So I can't suggest that more. It's so important to say, yes, I'm going to choose that, and then get the information so you know what works, what doesn't work, what needs to be tweaked, but you have to decide first. One thing that I think is really interesting is that I actually earned a little bit less money this year than I have the past 4 years, but I gained so much more. I gained so much time freedom. I gained so much clarity about what it is that I want to do. I actually took like 6 months where I didn't get a lot of clients. I wasn't making offers because I was really trying to understand what I needed to do. I was focused on myself a lot. So I took a big chunk of the year, I would say 6 months for sure. I can think of the months that I did this, that I said, I'm going to work on me instead of working on people and helping people. And I need to be a little selfish and not earn money and just do this, and then work on me to undo all these bad habits that I had, and change my behavior so that I can get really clear. And when I did that, it made for the biggest changes. It brought me clarity. It helped me decide. I was able to choose. It helped me to commit. And because of that, remember, I got clear on who I was, who I wasn't, because I decided, yes, did I earn more money? Yes, but I'm probably going to make more money in 2024 than I've earned probably, hopefully combined, but definitely in the past couple of years, for sure, I'll make more money. But money that's not the intent. That's not the goal. Money is a byproduct. Money is a symptom. Followers are a symptom, guys, of service. When you're out there serving, providing value to people. And when we say value, like, think of what value is. Value is in the eye of the beholder, and people will decide whether they see value in you and if they want to be in your world, right? So when I got clear on who I was able to really convey it very well on my videos and talk about the things that I believed in. And because of that, people were saying, oh yeah, that's who you are. I want to be around who you are. They're going to follow. And because I got followers, I was able to reach more people. I reached more and more and more and more, because the way the algorithm works is Mark Zuckerberg is fun in that way, right? Where he says, If you make value, if you're a content creator and you make valuable content that keeps people engaged and on Instagram longer, I'm going to reward you by putting you in front of other people, and they put you on the explore page, and it's just an algorithm, right? But that wasn't ever my intention. My intention was that I'm literally like a follower of God. I'm a disciple. I want to share how God has changed me. And now I use this in my coaching, and because I wanted to share it and help people, people came, right? But that was never the goal. I'm like, I want to get 60,000 followers. I'm not going to sit here and talk to you about how you can do it, because you may not get those results, right? But I will tell you, I'm going to make a blog post. You guys will see it this week, that how I got the 60,000 followers, but how what I believe contributed to it, but it's not something that you can like for sure guarantee, right? But I earned less money, but I got more people around me. I got clearer. I let go of a lot less. I got more time freedom. I got more emotional freedom. I got more mental freedom. That's why I call the program Feminine Freedom, is because you have freedom of, like, you have emotional freedom, you have relational freedom, you have mental freedom. Those are the things that we really want, and time freedom. I believe that when you are that confident feminine woman, you are only doing the things that you want, and you stop doing all the unnecessary things that kept you overworking and underloved. So your time opens up. You get a lot more time. I got a lot more time. I took the time to really do the work, which is what, if you join Feminine Freedom, you'll see what that work looks like. And I really committed and invested in myself. And because I invested in myself, my value, I was like, now my stock has gone up. I'm not going to deal with any of the old stuff that I dealt with. I'm not going to do any of the old stuff I did. I'm now going to do this kind of business, this kind of men that I want, this kind of lifestyle, this kind of work lifestyle that I want. And these are the kind of people that I want to work with. This is the kind of coaching programs that I want. That's it. And I took away all the other stuff. And so I got a lot more. So I gained clarity. And when you gain clarity on who you are, it really opens things up. So I know that it's going to translate into income later, but that's not the point. Because I think income is obviously a direct reflection of the people you serve. I want to serve thousands of women every year. So if I serve thousands, it'll turn into whatever money that is, right? So, some questions for you. I want to leave you with a couple questions that you can reflect on from this episode. So what are you choosing? What are you saying yes to? What are you saying no to? Write it down. Look right now, and what have you chosen in the past? What have you said yes to? What have you said no to? What are you willing to and only deciding that you're going to say yes to moving forward, right? What are you totally committed to? When you decide what you're committed to, when you decide, the other question, what do you want to be known for? What are you committed to? You will know what you choose. Those all really relate to each other. So first, get really clear on, what do I want to be known for? What am I committed to? How am I showing up? And how you show up will be answered by those two questions, right? By those two answers. And so, what makes you happy? What brings a smile to your face? What brings you joy? What really energizes you? What puts you in flow and just makes you act like a child again? What makes you happy? And what I want to offer about what makes you happy is, what makes you happy most of the time is be willing to admit that the things that you want in your life, the things that make you happy, are extras. They're things that you want, not necessarily things that you need. What you need is like food, water, and shelter. It's basic. You can survive off of that. As long as you live somewhere, like you have a roof over your head, you have food and water and like clothes, that's it. You're good. Everything else is just extra. So those things will bring you a lot of happiness, and they'll expand your life. So they're not things that they may feel selfish. I notice that a lot of women say, when I ask them, what's the vision that you have for your life? What do you want to create? What kind of life do you want? They're like, well, I don't really need it. I have this. And I'm like, I know what you have, but what do you want? What you want is bigger. It does require more from you. You don't need to make $1 million, but do you want to earn $1 million because of the lifestyle that you're going to be able to provide for you and your children and your family, and how you're going to give back to the world, and what it means that you're doing for the world if you're earning $1 million, right? What do you want? Get clear on that. What makes you happy, right? What do you need to make a decision about? Remember, decisions bring data. So are there things that you haven't decided that you've just been putting off that you know you need to make decisions about? Decide. Just make a decision one way or the other, because when you decide, you're going to get information, you're going to see if it works or if that's what you want, and then you get to make a decision. You always have choices. You can always choose again, right? Decisions aren't these big final things. Most of them you can choose afterward, okay? So just decide and then get the data that you need so that you can now make the next choice. Yeah, those are the last things. So I wanted to keep this short, and I didn't want to really talk about too much about the followers and the money that I earned, because I really believe that based on these 6 things, these questions that I asked myself are what led to that. But they brought me clarity. They brought me clarity on what I wanted to be known for, what I wanted to commit to, what I would tell Anabell 2023 and say, this is, these are like the biggest lessons that you're going to learn this year, and this is how you can apply them. 2023 worked out so great. There was so many crazy things that happened that I didn't expect. I didn't expect to spend 6 months really doing the work and undoing all these things, but they led me to so many great insights about how to be a better mother, a leader, better coach, a better businesswoman, a better sister, better daughter, hopefully a better wife. And it led to those tangible results of freedom, of income, of followers, and things like that. Remember, followers come when you're a leader. People only follow people that are leading. And I really believe that I committed to being a leader for myself. I led myself to do these really difficult things and challenging things. The way that I was able to lead myself and like my scared, what I call my scared younger girl parts, the younger parts of me that are the flesh that gets scared and just wants to stay comfortable. I was able to lead myself there, but I was able to lead myself because I follow God. And when I'm following him and I'm under his submission, I'm able to lead myself, and then other people, I can lead other people. But I have to do it first, and I have to be under submission, right, to him. So I think that's really, really important. It's a great place to end it. So I hope this served you. I hope this helped you. I know this podcast was a little all over the place because I put it together really late last night because I wanted to make sure that I gave you things, intangible things that I learned that I think that you can apply, that weren't like these really specific things to Anabell in my life. I think that, getting committed to your own unique version of your life, what makes you happy, what are you committed to, what do you need to decide about? I wanted to make this really important for you, but ultimately know what you want to be known for, how you want people to feel, how you want to feel, what you're committed to, and then everything else just like really unfolds there, right? I hope this was helpful. I can't wait to see you guys next week. And if you want to know about the 60K followers, and if you want to know about how I earned that money in 60,000 followers in 60 days, you'll see the blog post. I'll link it down below so you can see it. All right. Thanks for hanging out with me. I'll see you next week.